because it works. You have a victim up there who says, that's the man who raped me, I'll never forget him. And, jurors are going to believe it because we want to believe what we see is what happened. And it doesn't mean that the witness is lying. The witness, if the person is wrong, they're mistaken. And it doesn't mean that all eyewitness testimony is wrong. I think that the people who want reforms, they don't want to do away with eyewitness testimony. They just want to make it better.
As long as they can do this and prosecutors say, looks good to me, judges say the same, and juries say, well, okay, if the victim says that's him, we're going to go with the victim. As long as that process remains pretty much the way it has been, there's not sufficient impetus for them to change. It's not that they think they're doing anything wrong and they don't care. It's that this has always worked. There have not been questions raised to a great extent up until fairly recently. And even as the questions have been raised, if all you have, and this is typical of most jurisdictions, I think, if all you have is one wrongful conviction out of 10,000, then you can write it off to, well, this one, had a problem, but that doesn't mean they all have problems. So you can write it off to kind of an episodic thing as opposed to something that happens routinely. And I think that's happened a lot. Even in some of the bigger jurisdictions, they'll say things like, well, we try 10,000 murder cases a year, and we've only had a problem with one going back 25 years, so I don't think we need to jump the whole system and re-examine the whole system just because of that. What they don't look at is that the same factors that came into play in this wrongful conviction are a factor in a lot of your cases, maybe most of your cases. And just because those cases haven't come back as wrongful because there wasn't DNA or there wasn't other evidence that was presented to you, doesn't mean that you don't have a larger problem than just this one case. So they've done this because it works. They've done this because they haven't had sufficient pressure brought to bear on them to change. And they think they're doing it, they think they're doing the right thing. I mean, I don't think this is largely a situation of corruption amongst law enforcement. I think it's more along the lines of this is the way they've always done it.